Welcome to free online classes of physics with Lambot sir. So dear students, let us learn two more concepts from this chapter, electric current through conductor. So these two concepts are electric energy and electric power. So let us start to learn about the electric energy. And here we want to study work done by electric current, which is nothing but heating effect of electric current. Joule's heating effect. First of all, we will learn. Now, heating effect of electric current, which was discovered by the scientist Joule. And the statement of that heating effect of electric current is like this. When an electric current is passed through a conductor, it becomes hot. That is, heat is generated in that conductor. That's why its temperature increases and that conductor becomes hot. And this is nothing but heating effect of electric current, which was discovered by the scientist Joule. That's why that heating effect is also called as Joule's heating effect. So, according to statement, when an electric current is passed through metallic conductor, then that metallic conductor becomes hot. That is, heat is produced in that conductor due to electric current passing through that conductor. And this heat produced in that metallic conductor when current is passed through it, that is called heating effect of electric current. So let us explain this heating effect and we will find heat produced or heat generated in the metallic conductor. For that purpose, we will consider a small simple electric circuit. In this electric circuit, AB, this AB is the metallic conductor whose resistance is R. And between the two ends, A and B, between the two ends of that metallic conductor, we have connected a battery. Positive terminal of battery is connected to end A and negative terminal of battery is connected to end B. Due to that, potential difference of V volt will be developed across this resistor or you can say conductor. So when PD is applied across the conductor, what will happen? Electric field is set up at every point inside that conductor. And due to that electric field, free electrons in that conductor are moving in a direction opposite to that of electric field. That's why when potential difference is applied across conductor due to this battery, electron moves through the conductor. Electrons are moving in a direction opposite to the electric field. And due to the motion of electron through the conductor, electric current will be set up in this conductor and that current is flowing like this. This is the direction of electric current which is flowing through the metallic conductor. And before the electric current is generated, there is a flow of electrons from terminal B to terminal A. Electrons are flowing in anti-clockwise direction. That's why conventional current is flowing in clockwise direction. Now, when during the motion of that electrons, when the electrons are moving through this metallic conductor, during their motion, that electrons are colliding with vibrating atom of that conductor. And when electrons collide with vibrating atom, their motion is opposed. And that opposition gives rise to a resistance of that conductor. More collision, more opposition, and more opposition, more resistance. So when potential difference is applied across that conductor, electrons are moving through that conductor from end B to A, and during their motion they are colliding with the vibrating atoms of that conductor, and which gives rise to resistance of that conductor. In short, this conductor opposes flow of electrons through it. So in turn, that conductor opposes flow of electric current through it. So in order to maintain the flow of electrons, in order to maintain the flow of current through conductor, what should be done? In order to maintain the current, or in order to maintain the flow of electrons through conductor, work has to be done to overcome the resistance offered by that resistor or the conductor, because this conductor is opposing flow of electrons through it, flow of electric current through it. But in order to maintain the current flowing through this conductor, work has to be done to overcome the resistance of that conductor. And if we want to do the work, energy is needed. Then energy required to perform this work done is supplied by source of electricity. This is the source of electricity. We know that chemical cells, dynama are the sources of electricity, and that sources are providing the energy needed to perform work to overcome opposition of that conductor. So the energy required to perform work done to overcome the opposition of that resistance is supplied by the source of this electricity, and that energy is used to perform work done, and that work done to overcome the opposition of that resistance is converted into heat. That's why this conductor becomes hot when current is passing through it. So this work done is converted into heat, and due to that, that conductor is becoming hot. So to do work, energy is supplied by this source of electricity. So supplied energy is used to perform work against opposition of that resistor or conductor, and that work done then converted into heat. That's why this conductor is becoming hot, and this is nothing but heating effect of electric current. Due to flow of electric current through conductor, that conductor becomes hot. That is, heat is produced in that conductor. So this is how we can explain heating effect of electric current. So let us find the amount of heat which is generated in that conductor. That means work done to overcome the opposition of that conductor. Let us try to find expression for that. See here, same diagram we are referring here. This V, what is that V? See here, V is the potential difference applied across that conductor AB, whose resistance is R. You can say that V is the potential difference applied across a resistance R. And due to that potential difference, I is the electric current flowing through that conductor. Then, according to Ohm's law, which gives the relation between current, potential difference and resistance. Current flowing through conductor, potential difference between the ends of conductor and resistance of conductor. The relation between these three physical quantities is given by the Ohm's law. So according to Ohm's law, potential difference between the ends of conductor V equal to IR. This equation we can write. Now, if current I, which is flowing through that conductor, that current is flowing for time t, and before the flow of current there is a flow of electrons, or you can say charge. If current I flows through conductor for time t, then charge q, charge is nothing but electrons, charge q passing through that resistor or conductor, you can say, in time t is given by, we know that electric current equal to charge upon time. That means I equal to q upon t. So we want the charge passing through that conductor or resistor in time t. We can find from this equation. Charge equal to current into time. That charge q equal to I into t. So this is the amount of charge which is flowing through this conductor in time t. So in order to maintain this charge, in order to maintain this flow of charge through this conductor or through this resistor, work has to be done to overcome the opposition of that resistance. And that work done we can calculate here. We know that electric potential V equal to W upon Q. So work done W equal to Q into V, we can write here. Thus work done in moving this charge Q, work done in moving this charge Q through resistor, that work done W equal to VQ. But this Q equal to IT, so we can substitute here IT, and this V according to Ohm's law equal to IR, so we have substitute here IR. So we will get I square RT as the work done in moving charge Q through the resistor. Therefore, W work done in moving the charge through resistor equal to I square RT. म्हणजे ह्या इक्वेशनचा फॉर्म आहे I square RT. But instead of I, we can write V upon R. So I square upon, instead of I, we can write here V upon R. So you will get here V square upon R square. One R from the denominator will get cancelled. So finally, you will get V square T upon R. So these are the different forms of work done in moving charge Q through the resistor for time t. Now this work done to overcome the opposition of that resistor is converted into heat. Thus this work done produces heat in the conductor. When current I is flowing through that conductor for time t. म्हणजे इथं जे वर्क डनचे आपण डिफरंट फॉर्म्स काढलेले आहेत, that work done converts into heat, and due to that conductor becomes hot, which is nothing but heating effect of electric current. So equation 3 gives us amount of work done in moving charge Q through the resistor in for time t. So amount of heat produced in that resistor or conductor, we can find H equal to I square RT equal to VIT equal to V square T upon R, and that work done is measured in the unit joule. So this work done, this heat produced in that conductor is nothing but that work done is converted into heat. What amount of work is done? Total work done is converted into heat. That's why heat is produced in that conductor becomes hot. And if we want to express this heat produced in calories, then the equation will become H equal to I square RT upon J, which is equal to VIT upon J, or you can write here also V square T upon RJ. What is that J? Because this is the heat produced measured in calories, and this is the heat produced measured in joule. Here J is nothing but 4.2 joule per calorie, called as mechanical equivalent of heat. So in this way we explained here heating effect of electric current, Joule's heating effect, and during that we find the expression for work done, which is nothing but electric energy, work done due to electric current. Now we have discussed one concept, electric energy, which is nothing but work done by electric current. Let us learn second concept, which is electric power. Electric power in circuit. And this electric power can be defined like that: the rate at which electric work is done. The rate of work done is called as power. As here electric work is done, the power is called as electric power. So it can be defined like this: rate at which electric work is done is called as electric power. So it can be written in mathematical form like this, that is electric power equal to electric work upon time. In symbolic form we can write P equal to W upon T, and we find the different expressions for the work done. In moving charge Q through the resistor for time t. Out of that we have taken the formula here VIT. So this T and T gets cancelled and remains only V into I. So we can write here electric power is equal to product of potential difference and current. So this is one more expression for electric power in circuit. म्हणजे कोणत्याही इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट मधील पॉवर फाइंड आउट करायची असेल, simply do the multiplication of potential difference and current flowing through that circuit. And from this formula we can produce its SI unit as well as its dimension. So we know that SI unit of work is joule and time is second. That's why SI unit of electric power is joule per second. But this unit is named after one famous scientist, James Watt. So the SI unit of power is watt. Its symbol is capital W, which is actually joule per second. Now we will find the dimensions of electric power. We know that dimensions of work are L2 M1 T minus 2, and the dimensions of this time is T1. If it is shifted to the numerator, you will get dimensions of electric power equal to L2 M1 T raised to minus 3. So watt is the small unit of electric power. And if we want to express larger electric power which is used for the industrial purposes, then we are following two more units, which is the kilowatt and horsepower. So to express large power, we use larger unit of electric power such as kilowatt or horsepower. This kilowatt and horsepower are the industrial units of electric power, and their relation with the watt we can write here. See here, 1 kilowatt equal to 10 raised to 3 watt, and horsepower and watt, the relation between horsepower and watt, see here, 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. So this is nothing but the relation between kilowatt and watt, horsepower and watt. Now relation between electric power and electrical energy. We studied the two concepts, electrical energy and electric power. Now we will study both the concepts together in the form of relation between electrical energy and electrical power. So we know that electrical power is the ratio of electric work done upon time, and that electric work done is nothing but electrical energy, because to perform the work, energy needed is supplied by the source of electricity. So we can write here electric power in circuit is equal to ratio of electric work upon time, and this electric work is nothing but energy supplied by the source of electricity. So we have written here electrical energy upon time. So if we want to produce the formula in the symbolic form, P equal to, see here, W upon T, which is equal to VIT upon T. So instead of writing VIT, we can also write I square RT. TT gets cancelled. You will get I square R or equal to V into I. So these are the different forms of electric power. Now, to find the relation between electric power and electrical energy, we can write here from this formula, electrical energy equal to product of electric power and time. See here, electrical energy equal to product of electric power and time. And this is the relation between electric energy and electric power. Now, let us learn commercial unit used for the measurement of electrical energy. We know that SI unit of electric energy is Joule, but this unit is not used to measure the commercial electrical energy. So that unit we will learn here. Commercial unit of electrical energy. We know that relation between electrical energy and electric power is like this. Electrical energy is equal to product of electrical power and time. And from this relation, if we are using unit for electrical power as kilowatt, for the measurement of electric power, if we use the unit kilowatt, and for the measurement of time, if we use the unit hour, then what will be the unit of electrical energy? See here, if electric power is expressed in kilowatt, this electric power, instead of watt, we are expressing it in kilowatt, and time, instead of second, we are expressing it in hour. Then electric energy is expressed in terms of kilowatt hour, and the symbol for kilowatt hour is kWh. And this is nothing but, kilowatt hour is nothing but commercial unit of electrical energy. But actual unit, SI unit of electrical energy is Joule. But for commercial purpose, electrical energy which is used for commercial purpose, industrial purpose, that electrical energy is measured in this unit, kilowatt hour. In that unit, electric power is expressed in kilowatt and the time is expressed in hour. So the commercial unit of electrical energy is now kilowatt hour. And we will find here 1 unit of that electrical energy. 1 unit of that electrical energy. And the relation between unit of energy, that means SI unit of energy, Joule, that relation we will study here. 1 unit of electric energy recorded by electric meter is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. Electric meters which are installed by MSEB in our houses for the domestic purposes, म्हणजे जी इलेक्ट्रिक मीटर्स MSEB न आपल्या घरी इन्स्टॉल केलेले आहेत, त्या इलेक्ट्रिक मीटर्स मध्ये 1 युनिट जी इलेक्ट्रिक एनर्जी रेकॉर्ड केली जाते, that 1 unit of electric energy recorded by that electric meter is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. So the electric energy consumed by us in our domestic purposes, that electrical energy is measured in this unit, 1 kilowatt hour. And 1 unit of electrical energy is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. So let us find relation between commercial unit of electrical energy and SI unit of electrical energy. So commercial unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour and SI unit of electrical energy is Joule. So what is the relation between that two units? So 1 unit First, once again you try to understand here. 1 unit of electrical energy recorded by electric meter is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. Then we want to find the relation between kilowatt hour and joule, that is commercial unit of electric energy and SI unit of electric energy. That's why we have written here 1 unit which is recorded by electric meter is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. And this kilowatt hour we can write like this: 1 kilowatt multiplied by 1 hour. Then what is 1 kilowatt equal to watt? Equal to 10 raised to 3 watt. And what is 1 hour equal to second? Equal to 3600 second. So we can produce here 1 unit, that is equal to 1 kilowatt hour, is equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 watt second. Or instead of writing watt second, you can write joule. So this is actually a relation between commercial unit of electric energy and SI unit of electric energy. So in this way, we learn the two important concepts from this chapter: electrical energy and electrical power. Also, we develop the relation between electrical energy and electric power. And finally, we learn the commercial unit of electric energy. Commercial unit of electrical energy, which is 1 kilowatt hour. And the relation between commercial unit of electrical energy and SI unit of electrical energy, that we have studied finally here. This is the commercial unit of electrical energy and this is the SI unit of electrical energy. So the relation between 1 unit of electrical energy, that means 1 kilowatt hour, equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joule. So with this, we are ending this lecture.